Galaxies are some of the most fascinating objects in the cosmos. In this video, we will explore why astronomers are interested in studying super-old galaxies. In the distant past, there was complete darkness everywhere. Since the beginning of the universe, only 380,000 years had passed. Before that time, the apparent size of everything in the universe that we could see was significantly smaller than it is now by a factor of 1 million. The compression of all the matter in the universe into such a small area caused the matter to become superheated and transform into a plasma state. But as time passed and the universe expanded, the plasma eventually transformed into a neutral gas and atoms began to take shape. And at that very instant, greater than 13 billion years ago, all of the lights in the universe suddenly went out. Radiation that was emitted during the phase transition rapidly became less intense and cooled down until it could no longer be detected. But despite the fact that it was night, the universe continued on its way. Over the course of the subsequent hundreds of millions of years, clumps of matter began to adhere to one another, resulting in the formation of structures that were both larger and more robust. And in a remote region of the universe, a pocket of gas attained a temperature high enough and a pressure high enough to kick off the process of nuclear fusion. At that precise instant, the very first star in the history of the universe began to shine. Soon after, billions upon billions of additional stars began to join it, and as more time passed, these stars began to cluster together into the first galaxies. These galaxies continue to exist in the present day, just like our very own Milky Way. Astronomers are able to study them, and we can gaze upon them with awe and wonder. Even though we are aware that there was a period of time when there were no galaxies or stars in the universe, and even though we are aware that there are stars and galaxies in the universe at the present time, we do not have any direct evidence to suggest that the first generation of galaxies and stars were illuminated. The light from that eons past era is simply not strong enough to make out any details. However, James Webb enters the picture at this point. This observatory is designed to collect infrared light from the surrounding area. After billions of years, the light coming from the first galaxies has become much dimmer and has moved into the infrared spectrum. In the past, this light was as brilliant and potent as the light coming from our galaxy. James Webb is an individual who participates in the search for the very first galaxies. In its first month of scientific observations, the James Webb Space Telescope has already shattered record after record, and consequently, everyone is very excited about this. It has discovered galaxies that are the youngest ever seen. These galaxies remind one of cherished baby pictures from a childhood that they cannot recall. It is a mystery to us how the first galaxies and stars came into existence. We are unable to determine how quickly or slowly the process occurred, or whether or not it was accompanied by odd or violent forces. Even after all these years, we still don't have a good explanation for how the Milky Way got its start. A poetic way of putting it is to say that this is the last big question in observational cosmology. Astronomers call the time when the first stars and galaxies were born the cosmic dawn, and James Webb is illuminating the path that leads us away from the shadows.